So I have written in the past, a few years ago, I wrote a blog post about meditation over the last, I'm not even sure when I officially started. It's probably been 5 years, but I guess the milestone that I wanted to share and some of the findings and nuggets that I wanted to share. So this is all about meditation and the power, the gift, the benefit of meditation. So I actually started writing a post about meditation in May, and I thought I had looked on so I've been using the app Headspace, and I certainly meditate a lot outside of Headspace. And I only share that only because I thought I had hit my like 10,000 minutes of meditation. And now I just looked this morning as I completed my session, some serendipity here, 10,268 minutes meditated. And the quote through Headspace says it's ironic that if we could just stop wanting something to make us happy, we might be happier. There's certain power in being present and being in the moment. For those of you that are watching this that have not ever tried meditation, I've had lots of conversations with friends and peers over the years. They're like, oh, I can't do it. I'm too much of a busybody. I'm ADHD. My brain's always going, and I would have told you the exact same things 10 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago, whenever until I started actually doing it and taking my best way to describe meditation is whether it's your computer or your cell phone, how many times has something stopped working, and the way to fix it is a hard reset. Whether it's Control Alt Delete or your cell phone, it's you power it down, apps aren't working, something's not loading, you power it down, restart it, and everything works. So if that resonates, if that example or analogy resonates, that is what meditation can and should do. And it doesn't matter if it's a 3-minute session or a 60-minute session. I'm going to share a few different experiences and findings with meditation because if you can literally clear your mind, clear your brain, just like a Control Alt Delete, you will have that like, whoa, I just completely reset. And if you're faith-based, and I'm not going to get into the nuance but for me, when I hear about pondering and meditation from a scriptural perspective, that's not meditation is truly Control Alt Delete, clearing the mind, deep breathing to pass out and I guess clear all the whatever you want to call it, negative energy, the anxiety, the etc. So I guess I'm going to work through a few things here. As far as first tactics, if you've never meditated before, I would strongly advise. I'm sure Headspace has some sort of referral network. That's not my intent here, so I'm not necessarily sharing and saying use Headspace. That's what I've been using, and to be honest, I'm afraid to go off it because I like the stats. I do. They're for me. They're not. I mean, I'm not like a big, constantly share about the things I'm doing and accomplishing, but I like to be able to look and see my progress and stats and average times. But whether it's the Calm, I've used Calm before. Headspace, obviously, there's lots of. I would highly recommend Guided if you haven't done it before. Just someone else walking you through different breathing methodologies or techniques, and even like time, when to breathe in, when to breathe out, how long to hold, when to breathe out through your nose, breathe out through your mouth. Those types of specifics, Guided really, really is helpful in optimizing meditation, I believe. I've talked to lots of people that are really, really like years ahead of me in meditation, and there's plenty of people that don't use anything, And I can certainly have a great, if I'm in a place, and I will say, let me just pause and a little piece of vulnerability. Um, I I would say that I used to thrive in taking on a lot and almost being like, I certainly thought busyness was a badge of honor. I thought taking on a lot of stress was a badge of honor. I thought I thrived in the chaos until I had my first panic attack. And I think all of us in parts of our lives we experience anxiety and it manifests itself in different ways. But when you have a real experience, whether you feel like and you think you're having a heart attack or a stroke, or it's this like emotional vomiting. I mean, whatever you felt or you are feeling or you've gone through those experiences, and these things manifest themselves with different people in a variety of different ways. But once I just kept bringing, pile it on stress, pile it on, bring it on, project, task, opportunity, you name it. The only way to clear that out has been deep breathing and meditation. And I mean, to say it's a lifesaver, it's a lifesaver. I believe that through meditation and breathing, you can get through a lot of things that you otherwise would not be able to. And that's really my personal experience with it. And so now to kind of get into, I shared some of the tips or resources in terms of the guided piece. The other thing maybe partly is like experimenting with time durations. Maybe get good at 3 minutes, then jump to 5 minutes, and then jump to 10 minutes. I've actually done the float pods. I think it's called float spa, but in different parts of the country, I think they're called. I mean, they're float pods, but they call them float spas, where it's um, dense mineral water that you float in. But the whole purpose of this is to say a 60-minute deep meditative session is, I mean, you'll have, don't feel bad. I've talked to friends that say, hey, every time I meditate, I fall asleep. Great, fantastic. I wouldn't have a specific expectation or outcome. For many people, if like I'm sitting up in a chair in an office space, and if I did a 5 minute session just like this, these same headphones, through the Headspace app, I'm likely not to fall asleep. But if I were to lay down on the floor right here in front of me, and for me, I likely could fall asleep within 10 minutes. Maybe not 10 minutes, certainly, or excuse me, 5 minutes, certainly 10 minutes. So don't get caught up in some of that. But I do just the idea of breathing and some of the breathing techniques, whether it's the box, um, breathing in through your nose and pulling it all the way deep into your gut. I've read several books on meditation uh, that just kind of help think through a mindset and techniques. I mean, there's a variety of professionals out there, YouTubers, etc., that really have a lot of great techniques. So I just wanted to honestly share the power of it, the benefit of it, and for anyone that watches this, that's like, you know what, that's the push I needed to do it. I'm, at a really busy or stressful time in my life, and it's time. So good luck with your meditation. I appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully you found it valuable.